Niches and ecosystems explained. There are two primary parts of an ecosystem. The biotic part is made up of all of the living things like plants, animals, fungi, bacteria, and viruses. The abiotic part is made of non-living things like rocks, minerals, water, and energy. Ecosystems are small regions within the biosphere. They are a community and its physical and chemical environment. Ecosystems can be almost any size. While many of us think of communities like a coral reef or a forest, an ecosystem can be a small pond or even the area beneath a minuscule pebble. Ecosystems need energy. In most cases, this energy comes from sunlight. Producers or autotrophs, like plants, take light energy and convert it into usable sugar energy through photosynthesis. Energy then passes along through ecosystems through complex food webs. A food chain starts with the food source and includes all the organisms that feed on one another. Since all the organisms in an ecosystem are connected to one another, the loss of one species can have a domino effect and cause the collapse of the entire food chain. To understand ecosystems, we must recognize that at the base of the food web, producers, such as algae, convert sunlight into usable energy for the consumers that make up the rest of the food web. Energy is then passed on through the food web by heterotrophs. Each time energy moves up the food chain, energy is lost to forms such as heat. A system and its components that are undergoing change and can adjust to the change without upsetting the whole ecosystem is said to be in dynamic equilibrium. When the dynamic equilibrium of an ecosystem becomes imbalanced, the health and numbers of the organisms in that ecosystem is affected. If the changes become too large, some organisms may even become extinct. A niche is an organism's special role in an ecosystem. What and how something eats, how it behaves, where it lives, all of these things define an organism's niche. Two organisms cannot occupy the same niche for very long. Eventually one will outcompete the other for food and other resources, forcing the other to move, adapt, or go extinct. The owl, for instance, is very adapted to its niche. They have totally silent flight, from fringed flight feathers that help muffle the sound of air passing through their feathers. This helps them sneak up on prey. Their excellent hearing allows them to sense small prey rustling in the leaves on the ground. Furthermore, they have large eyes set forward on their heads for great depth perception. The retinas on their eyes are packed with low-light sensitive rods to see in dim lighting. Their sharp talons are great for grabbing prey on the fly. All these physical adaptations help the owl survive in its habitat. As the owl has illustrated, many organisms come equipped with adaptations that help them fulfill their niche. In addition, these adaptations provide the organism with an advantage. The greater the number of niches in an ecosystem, the greater the biodiversity. This is prevalent in a rainforest. Rainforests have countless species, most of which are very specialized and have very specific niches, as competition is very high. Some organisms, such as the grizzly bear, feed on a plethora of other organisms. This allows bears to have a wide range of niches. Conversely, other organisms feed on a very select list of things. Humans have many different implications in ecosystems. Humans are constantly helping and hindering ecosystems. Traditionally, in many cultures, such as many First Nation cultures, they believe that they are the stewards of the land, not the owners that should exploit the land and their respective resources, but the protectors of the land. Many of the Earth's ecosystems are threatened due to climate change, pollution, and human destruction of habitat. In saying all of this, humans are constantly doing good, such as planting trees and creating laws prohibiting pollution.